Switchplay TV time.
Yes.
And we have ladies in the studio today.
Hey,
In studio, we have,
Miss Terry, I'm here.
and remotely, we have.
Cameron.
Yay, everybody's here.
Woohoo!
So, guess what our subject is today, ladies?
Let's hear it.
It's ladies' night and the feel is right.
Hey. So, we're going to talk about today. It's like a two-part thing. So, let me get a shout out first. We want to say welcome everybody.
Hello.
And then we also want you to like, share, and comment on our subject for today. Our gentlemen are taking a little break from us today. We miss our gentlemen.
We do.
We miss you, Lamar. We miss
Bye,
you,
bro.
Mike. Everybody's doing their little thing, but we're all going to come back together real soon.
Yay.
Our Switchplay family, we all miss you, but we know we're all going to get together and come back. But today, we are talking about a two-part. What are your strengths and weaknesses? And then also, why are you so hard or critical on yourself? Let's start with, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Ladies, would you like to start? I can say mine first.
Go
I'm gonna start with my weaknesses. My weakness is that I am actually too critical of myself, and I think that I overthink a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And so the reason to overthink can get you in trouble a little bit, but I think it's a good weakness to have. Because other people can intervene and just say, maybe you need to stop overthinking, or you are overthinking, this particular thing. Or one of my strengths is that I like to do a lot of things. And so within production, I should say, and within production, doing certain things and doing a lot of things, it kind of, it helps out a lot, especially on set, or in broadcast or in radio or in entertainment, period. It helps out a lot. So what do you ladies say?
I,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, for me dealing with you, Nicole, that we had that conversation once before. It's so important to be multi-dimensional. I think that a lot of times in life we have been taught by society that, oh, you're the jack of all trades, but master of none. But they leave off the rest of the verbiage to that saying. It says something to the fact that you are the jack of all trades. It's okay to be a jack of all trades, because it's actually better to be able to do more than one thing than just one thing. Because to me, when you just do one thing, it can be pretty boring.
True.
So I think that I know I'm very critical of myself because I believe because of society. Society says this, society says that, and I think sometimes we get into the box of comparisons, and that will make us be critical of ourselves. But I'm finding now, when I stop caring about what others think, I am free, and I'm limitless. But I limit myself when I take on other people's opinions and views of things. It's just very to thine own self be true. So I believe that my biggest strength is that I'm a learner. I want to learn new things. I want to explore different things. I just want to live out loud and express myself. But my biggest weakness in the past has been thinking or overthinking about what others may have thought about me, because I've been told often in my life, your personality is too big. But why should I dim my light and stop being who I am because you don't know what to do with me? That's not my problem.
So
And I
do
think,
you consider overthinking your weakness as well? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I
Okay.
overthink because sometimes I overthink myself out of things. And
Hmm.
so I think that's where my newfound freedom is, because when I stopped overthinking, that's when I became more productive. Because I just like go for it, just do it like Nike. But
Okay.
it's hard because when you get inside your own head, it's just like a merry-go-round. You go round and round and round and round, and it can stifle you because it's like, what if this and what if that? And I think that really overthinking is nothing but fear, because you're like, if I jump, and then and so that's where our faith in God comes into play. That we have to just trust Him. It might not be the way we think it's going to be, the way it looks like it's going to be, the way others have told us it's going to be. But if we keep our eyes on the prize and keep God at the focal point, and He says, we can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. And we have to hold on to that principle to help us stop overthinking. But I do still overthink. I'm working on it.
So do you feel, we're gonna get your answer in a second, Terry, but do you feel us as women overthink, period, correct?
Yes, because it's society. We're always compared to this, compared to that. You do too much, you don't do enough. It's always a tug of war. If you do too much, you're doing too much. If you don't do enough, you're lazy. So it's just always a constant tug of war. And that's why we have to find our center within ourselves to say, this is how I operate. I'm not going to operate the way my mother operated, for God's sake. My mother used to cook full course meals every day. We had food every day. When we had hot dogs and stuff like that, we'd be like, "Ooh, we have hot dogs," you, you know. And I think, growing up, and when I was married, I compared myself to my mother. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
gotta make full course meals every day. But what works for some people is not what works for you. So you have to find your center and what works for you,
Right.
whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, girl, who
Look,
in there
we
with y'all?
had
I
a
gotta
little
come in there
ghost.
and karate chop.
We had a little ghost come open the door for us.
Okay.
Go ahead, Terry. You can express
I
your
knew God didn't have me here for a reason. Both.
You left us here.
your
Yes,
nose in
sir.
clover. Okay, go
Uh,
ahead, Terry. What are your
um,
your strengths and weaknesses?
I think recently I just discovered that one of my weaknesses is going back, overthinking as well. But I think for me, it has been losing myself in other people's issues, or um,
Good.
comparing myself to others, which messes with your worthiness. Um, if you can stop comparing yourself to people, you can say, well, wait a minute, I'm worthy. I'm good at this. I'm good at that. I can speak this way. I can, I'm a people person. I talk a lot. um, I think that the worthiness, though, it's always a question of that for me. Um, when I decide to do something that I've never done, and I get nervous about it, and I go, "Oh God, can I do this, or am I able?" And I think that goes back to for me, it's worthiness. Well, am I worthy of it? And am I valued? Am I going to be seen as this less than person? But then I have to say, no, 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 no. Try this. If it's for you, then it'll come to you. You know, you always want to jump out and force it. Well, I do, because I want to control the outcome of it. But
Did you hear
then,
that bass come in her voice? Well, I do.
I
yeah,
do.
control, controlling the outcome as well of things that I don't have control over.
Hmm.
That's hard for me because I don't like to. I used to say, "Oh, I hate surprises," but it really isn't that. It's that I'm anxious or I'm nervous about something that I can't control. At the end of it, is it going to work out? Am I going to be, is this going to happen for me?
Hmm.
And at that point, I'm like, fear, like you said, fear jumps in there and it takes over. And you're like, oh God. But then like she said, again, when you learn to let go of it and just say, you know what? I'm just going to let God. I'm just going to, the universe will bring it to me, whatever it is that I'm desiring or want to learn, it'll come. And then when you do it, it comes and as long as you're aware and you see it, I think that's the part that makes you go, wow, I am special. I am worthy. I'm good. I'm a good person. I'm supposed to have this. This is for me. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and I was just say, I think in religion, growing up in church, like I believe that we all did, we were taught, don't think more highly of yourself than you are. Be humble.
yes,
And
yes.
and sometimes I think things can get mixed up in that translation, because then you start thinking like, well, if I have confidence, then I'm not being humble.
That's
If
right.
I do something well and I feel good that I did that well, then I shouldn't feel like this. So
Mm-hmm.
then that's where the doubt and the fear comes in, because you start doubting yourself,
Mm-hmm.
fearing and being like, well, maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I did too much. Maybe I wasn't enough because of that verbiage. But when people quote scripture, they shouldn't just quote that scripture. You got to quote everything around it and keep things in context. Because again, if the Bible says I can do all things through Christ, it is okay for me to let my light shine. It
Mm-hmm.
is okay for me to let my light shine. And I think as women, that's why we get into all the self hate, because you look at television, you see all these images of the perfect nose, the perfect
Mm-hmm.
breast, the perfect butt, the perfect this, the perfect that. But I remember the old adage back in the day, they used to have that thing that said, God didn't make no junk. We are fearfully and wonderfully made, and we are beautiful because God created us. But again, we feel a certain type of way because we have been told, and we tend to hold on to the lies instead of the truth of what and who we are. And that's
Yeah.
where the weakness comes in the believing the lie.
Yeah. It's difficult sometimes though. You ever like I always catch myself like now, when I'm if you do something that you think you did well at, and then you go, I love this. I'm so, this is so great. And then something happens, and I go, well, am I supposed to be this happy about it? Because, like you said, it's like, it's supposed to be humbling. Like you're supposed to be you're grateful in the moment, but then for me, I go, well, wow, I think that was a great thing, but should I be this happy about it? And
Yeah,
yes, you
that goes
should.
into why are you so hard on yourself or
Mm-hmm.
critical of yourself?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that we actually should be as critical or hard on ourselves, because I always say this is all of our first time being here. We're all still learning. We learn every day.
Yep.
We learn something every single day that we didn't know before.
That's right.
So it's more so like,
Mhm.
why are we so hard or critical on ourselves? What is it in society that has made us so hard and critical on ourselves? And do we blame it on society? I mean, how do we uh pretty much say, okay, well, I'm bad at this, I'm bad at that. Why am I bad at this? Why don't we just fix it? That's what I mean. Why are we so critical on ourselves, ladies?
That's why, like, I love how the culture now is saying you can manifest. You can
Mm-hmm. You
manifest.
sure
And it's
can.
not really manifesting, because the word of God says, speak those things that are not as though they were.
Right.
If you believe it, you can achieve it, you can receive it. That's been told by Les Brown and motivational speakers for years, but all of it, again, is hinged on a lot of biblical principles, what Confucius say.
Right.
So therefore, if we would just have faith in ourselves that we can do anything and that all things are possible, which is has been written, and if we would speak and say the right things, then we would think better of ourselves. And that's why we have to be careful what we say, because
What
I'm
we
guilty of
think.
that as a
Yeah.
woman. I'm constantly like, oh well, I gained too much weight. I'm this, I'm that. I always can find something wrong with myself instead of me embracing who I am. That's why I like
Mm-hmm.
Lizzo. I think she way over the top. But I
I love
admire
her.
I do
her
too.
I love
because
her.
I do too.
she
The
loves
confidence.
herself. And it's
Yes.
like
Mm.
we all need to just learn to love ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That self love is something. It sounds so cliche, but it's so true. That when
It
you have
is.
love for yourself, it doesn't matter what anybody else says, because at the end of the day, you are loving you, and if you get lost in it, you can feel it right away. The break from it, you can go, oh my God, that was not me. You could say something or be somewhere and feel a certain way, and you're like, this isn't for me. This is not me, and you have to remove yourself, and you know right then, like, oh my goodness, I need to go back to being me. And you feel better immediately, because you're like, mm-mm. I know that I could be in a room full of people. And you know how sometimes, you get influenced by whatever it is that is going on at the time. And you're trying to connect to something or someone, or some way you can say, okay, I belong here. Instead of checking yourself and saying, I belong here anyway, no matter what it is. I am me. I'm going to do what I do, and I'm not going to look for everybody to look in their face to see if it's good or not. It's
You're
okay.
not going to look for validation from
Right.
others because
Mm-hmm.
wherever you are, you deserve to be there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Sometimes, like you were saying, you could be in a room with people and they're doing a whole lot of stuff, but sometimes you are meant to be there to change the tone
Mm-hmm.
because everybody is always looking at what we do. And what I've learned is when I am who I am, people may be doing other things, but people have come up to me later on and said, "Hey, Cam, I'm glad you came because I really
Yeah.
didn't want to
Mm-hmm.
do that."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And even speaking up, I've been around friends. I'm not mad at nobody for recreational drinking.
Mm-hmm.
People into a lot of different things nowadays. But just
Mm-hmm.
because you do it doesn't mean that
Mm-hmm.
that's what I have to do.
Right.
And with me being true to myself, I help. When we're true to ourselves, we help other people be true to themselves too. Because, say, for instance, you are because I like me a glass of wine, honey. Don't play with me. But
I'm sorry.
I
Say
don't
that one more
always want to.
time. I didn't hear
I
you.
said I like to have a glass of wine. I
Mm-hmm.
said, but I said, hey, I said, but if I'm with other people and I don't feel like drinking, oh girl, you're not going. That's not what I want to do today. So no, that's not what I'm gonna do
You're not
because
subject
that
to
ain't
peer
how I feel.
pressure.
Mm-hmm. I
You're
think
not
that.
giving in to that peer pressure. But JD,
Yeah,
WJ Brooks on social media says that social media has confused us.
Oh, so much.
I definitely, I wouldn't say confused us. It's more so like uh, it has put us out there to want more attention. It's not confuse. It's not confusion. It's just
it's
begging for
influence
more attention to people.
or
And
to fit in.
exactly, exactly.
A different level, yeah, because you can see everything. But it's like you see it all, and you're saying to yourself, "Is that real?"
Well,
Because
I would want to, that's those
No,
people that want to be those Instagram models
yeah,
and
yeah,
Facebook models, or however what is it, Only Friends or whatever
friends,
that
yeah,
stuff
I
is.
haven't
but
seen.
some of that stuff got
Go ahead.
shut down after the world opened back up. They shut down that little friend stuff and all that stuff. Them girls
Did
was making
they?
all that money on IG. They was like shut it down.
A lot of it goes over my head. I just heard about that like maybe 2 months ago. I was like, "What is that?"
Yeah, I
I
hadn't
didn't
heard
know.
about it either.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
to me, social. Well, it's to me, it's like more, yeah, the social media for the younger people, but people that's more around, I'll say between uh 35 and I'll say
And
50ish, yeah, and up. I'll say 35 and up, yes. They're more um they're trying to stay in the loop of things, but I wouldn't say that's it's confusing them to do it. It's more so trying to adjust to the times.
mm-hmm.
But
And then also we do have those who are guilty of um attention whoring. They have to put everything that they do on
Oh,
social media. I
that
say
I
live your
I don't
don't
life.
get it. I
understand.
don't
I
I
get it.
don't.
say I say don't live your life for likes. Just live your life.
Right.
because I do a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't put my business on social media, not because
Exactly.
I'm ashamed of anybody that I'm with, but for me, when I'm with my friends and people taking care of business or whatever I'm doing, I'm in the moment. I
Mm-hmm.
am enjoying the moment. I am enjoying my space and time with the people that I am with. And the last thing I'm thinking about is, oh, let me take a picture. I was just at my grandmother's 98th birthday this weekend with all of my family. And I don't think that I took many pictures. And then when I got home, I was like, dang, I ain't really take, but I was present. I
Mm-hmm.
held people's hands. I looked at them. I looked them in their eyes. I talked to them. I connected with them. So those are memories that I will have forever, and they will way surpass a fake picture because I said cheese and smiled and just walked away. I got to connect with them. So I just think that we need in life to do more connecting. Facebook is
Right.
good for people who live far away from each other, and it was meant to connect them, but it's also been misused and
Mm-hmm.
misconstrued.
Correct. But uh, are you all critical of those people who exploit themselves on social media, and or put their business out there? I mean, because we're pretty much talking about that. So, are you critical of them for doing that, or hard on them for doing that because of the way that they decided to, put themselves out there?
And some of it is so negative, and you see, I see things. You know how you come across something when you're scrolling, and it's so upsetting that you have to let it go. You have to just pass it up because it's ridiculous. um, People that are arguing with their children's little friends, or you know, um, people are saying, arguing over a guy, and they're all over the baby mamas with the baby mamas. Oh, he's here. Oh, I took a pic. Oh, and I just,
Look, what
people
kind of friends you got?
Right.
no, no.
Like,
It's,
what are you
you
talking
know how you
about?
go in and
I'm joking.
you're scrolling on things that people post, and then they'll go, I'm just posting it. It's not about me. I'm just posting it. And you'll just be scrolling, and they might have something up that they found on wherever, TikTok or wherever it is. Um, and they'll post it, and it'll be something that is so out of pocket that you're just like, why would you post that? I think some things are just not meant to be put on yourself, even if it's not
I,
you. It's something that you post. You found it and you put it on there. And to me, that negativity is
and,
something
but
that
if
you're.
but if you put it on there, then you should be open to letting somebody comment on it. I think that if you, whatever. But back to what you were at,
And
Some
you had
people
said
do that
before,
simply
yeah,
because, and I'm come back to
yep,
you,
they want to
Kim.
get
So
attention.
yep,
exactly, that's
yep.
exactly why. So
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
people put things out there for the attention of getting criticism or just comments. Period.
mm-hmm.
And so
Mhm.
you know, more power
But if
to
you
them.
don't want nobody to comment on it, then you shouldn't post it.
Exactly, and
And
that's
That's period. Because
attention
I've
grabbers.
seen
yes,
people get an attitude
they
because
do. They
somebody
get
said
mad.
something. I'm entitled to my opinion just like you are. And if you put your business out there and I decide to say something about it, then I have every right to do that. But back to what you were asking, Nicole,
Hmm.
when people post stuff,
Lady
I will
Melody.
say congratulations.
Hmm.
Very good. Give them a round of applause.
Hmm.
But really, I don't care. I don't care. It don't affect me one way or the other that you got a new car or you want to whatever you showing. Oh, hey, that is nice for you. I really don't care because I live my life in my lane, and I don't. I have found that I have such peace. I have the peace that surpasses all understanding. Glory to God,
Amen. Amen.
Mm-hmm,
because I don't worry about other people's business. I only worry about mine. Only thing I try to do is edify people, build them up. And if I don't have nothing good to say, I get quiet. Because I've had friends be like, you'll be funny acting, and because you don't call as much. Because sometimes when
Is that a
it's a
strength or
whole lot of
weakness?
confusion and negativity, I got to get back in my lane because one of my weaknesses has been, and I think Terry touched on that in the past, is I take on other people's problems,
Mm-hmm.
and it will
Mm-hmm.
become so overwhelming that I
Mm-hmm.
be up praying about it, thinking about it, going through, Lord, help them, Lord. And then I had to say one day, it's that's not my problem. Lord,
Mm-hmm.
help them. And you got to let it go,
Let
because
it go.
you'll be spending all this time worrying about
Energy.
them trying to figure out their problem. And then some people are comfortable in their dysfunction. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not your place to
Mm-hmm.
try to get mixed up in their stuff, because you got your own life to live and you got to figure it out. But you
Yeah.
got to figure out your own stuff. And while
Yeah.
I'm over here worrying about your stuff, I got my own stuff going on that I need to be taken care of. So I'm not going to take away from the quality of my life and the things that I need to do to be productive, and the people in my life who really need me, like the elderly people or somebody in my family, because I'm caught up in some, girl, did you see what she posted? Girl, her hair. Girl, let me tell you about this party. Girl, let me tell you about so. I don't want to hear nothing about so and so and so and so. Because if you calling me talking about so and so and so and so, you calling so and so and so and so, telling them about me.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Exactly.
have had to learn, and that was a hard pill to learn. Because you want it be juicy sometimes. It's like, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't want to hear
Mm-hmm.
nothing. So,
It's
mm-mm,
energy
shut it
draining
down.
sometimes.
Right. W. Brooks says attention is the biggest drug. And then also David Tipton says, I'm not hard nor critical of myself, but because once you understand that you are human and you make mistakes, you understand that life is a process. Either you learn or it be a lesson.
It
And
repeats. It
that
repeats.
deserves a hand, because
Yeah.
I agree with that. That
Yeah.
definitely.
I think that when you
I
don't
like you
learn,
tipton toes.
when you don't learn that lesson, it does repeat. And
Right.
then you look back at it and you say, oh my God, I just did that all over again. And the face changes, but the situation stays the same. And it's something
Exactly.
that God is trying to tell you and you didn't get it the first time. It'll come back to you again and again and again
So
till you learn it.
you
You
all think
gone
that we
too.
should be critical of people? I mean, because we like David said, we're all human.
We are.
So
It,
And it's a never
the
ending
only thing
process.
that I don't think I don't think anybody should be critical, because you don't know why people are the way they are.
hmm
Some people are on, Facebook. They need attention because maybe they didn't grow up getting attention. Maybe they
Mm-hmm.
were an ugly duckling, or maybe they had low self-esteem, low confidence. So now that they're older, they're like, hey, well, I feel good, and I'm gonna let everybody know I
I
feel
love
good. I'm
that.
gonna show them,
yeah.
you
I love
know.
that.
I'm gonna show these people. It's because back in the day, it used to be like, I can't wait to my class reunion. Because when I get to my class reunion,
Mm-hmm.
people would have these feelings, and you would see movies about class reunions and how people would work out, starve themselves, or try to be something. Because when they got to that 10-year reunion, they wanted to prove to everybody that they were worth something, or they had succeeded. But success is simply up to perception. Perception.
Perception is that it's true because what you believe to be true for yourself may not be what everybody else sees.
Exactly.
And sometimes it's negative what you see about yourself, and then you speak it and you tell it and you put words to it and thoughts to it and emotions, and it's not really what it is, and people look at you and go, that's not what I saw, that's not what so it truly is perception sometimes with certain situations. But I think once you're aware of it and you start talking to yourself better. Now you talk to yourself and you hear people say, "Oh, that was so dumb of me," or you know, oh, I'm a screw up or whatever. You have to be very careful what you say about yourself because it
Words have
alters
power.
your perception of yourself. So you have to. Well, I try as I practice to be as positive as I can about what I'm saying about me.
hmm
Like if I say, "Oh God, I didn't know how to do that, but I did it anyway."
hmm
You got to kind of change the verbiage a little bit just so that you can say, "Okay, well this is good. This is positive. I got to put a switch on it." And then you go from there because I think it builds it up and
Right.
it makes you a better person.
Mike says, "Hey,
And
y'all."
also,
Hey, Mike.
hey, Mike.
Hi.
And the other thing
Hi.
that We live
Yeah.
in
Okay.
such
Good.
a society with information. One thing that I do that I would encourage anyone to do whenever I'm doing something and I may not have done it before, I do the research.
That's the truth.
If I don't know how to do it, I research it. It's just like acting. I'm an actor. I have a role coming up where I'm playing a prosecutor. I know my script inside and out, but I got to do the research. So now I have to look at prosecutors. I can never be Denzel or the other prosecutors, but at least I can get a feel of, okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, take notes, take notes. So whenever I get in any situation, I was on a set. I had never done studio binder before. Somebody offered to show me how to do it. I learned. I sat down with them. I took the time. I invested. I looked over it. They took the time to show me. We went through it. So my thing is, do your research. If you're not prepared, you're going to fail. So if you're interested in something or you want to try something new and different, it's so much information. Google it. Go on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
They have Udemy, which is a thing that has master classes. They
I
have
know. I love you to
um,
me.
yeah, because girl, I got it. They have master classes and just different things. Just always be willing to learn and
Mm-hmm.
stop thinking that you know everything and can't nobody tell you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you all think about this TikTok, of course? But TikTok has all different ages of people doing various things on TikTok. It's to me, it's more of a creative thing, and so you can look at it, you can laugh, you could, people are telling their, some life stories or sad stories, good stories. They're being entertaining, just being creative. Um, and as we talked about social media being, attention grabbers and things like that, or people want attention, are you all critical of people on TikTok or just being creative?
I think with it being creative, I say go for it because it's you being you. I mean, you don't have to pretend. Well, some people do.
I was gonna
Some people
say.
do. But if you're being genuine, I think that's what draws people in. You've got all these genuine people that are performers and actors and, influencers. And when they're real and they're themselves, you tend to gravitate to them because you can feel the natural, flow of what they're doing and saying
You
and
can
saying.
feel that
You can feel it,
vibe,
yes. That energy is just there.
vibe. I know
And
we have nailed him to the cross, but vibe.
yes, and you can
We
feel it
don't
on
like what he
people.
did, but he was that music was the bomb.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't, and that goes into another subject, but that no, it doesn't because I'm not critical of him. I'm critical of him for what he did, but I'm not
Hmm.
critical of his music. I'll say that
Yep, his creative
because
Yeah,
side.
I
you can
still
never
listen to
take
his
away
music.
from him.
Hmm.
Right, correct,
Hmm.
correct.
You
So
can't.
what do you guys think about the Bill Cosby thing? Do you feel the same way about kind of like
I
This is
don't
the thing I
because
had, the problem I had
go
with
ahead,
Bill
Kim.
Cosby thing.
Okay.
How you gonna come back 50 years later? Shut the hell up. Y'all was some damn groupies. Y'all wanted some money.
Ooh.
He said I gave them some money. So it was to me it was a exchange of services. But then you figured like, I'm
I
older
wouldn't
now
I wouldn't say
and
all of that. Was it really an exchange of services or was it just it was consensual services? Because
I
I
think it
don't
was
know
both. Because
anybody
a lot
that
of
would
them got
just leave and go back to a room or if you know this man is older
you
and
gonna keep going back.
exactly or you taking drinks and you all having a good time it's, in your mind something is triggering your mind to know
He
something may
told
happen
it?
me
something may not happen but
Mm-hmm.
when she
something
said
ain't
he
right.
told me she said he told me to take this, it'll help you relax. If you had enough sense to sit there and listen to him say, "Take this,
Right.
it'll help you relax," you could have went to
Exactly.
the bathroom and walked out the door.
Right. I would go
You
pee to
wanted to
relax and
relax.
just I'm
You
sorry,
wanted
I
to
shouldn't have
relax
said
and
that,
let
but
that
just
old
to,
Cosby breath
take a bowel movement.
breathe
You could
on
relax.
you so you can
Just
get a
do
check.
something. You could relax. You don't have to
Man,
take drugs or whatever to relax or or take some alcohol. I mean
that's
they
just an excuse. That's just
yeah,
like saying, "Girl." I mean,
did I really say
when I
that?
think of, I'm a woman. We're all women here. when I think of rape, I've been in situations where I was almost raped before, but uh, but thank the Lord I didn't. But didn't nobody? I mean, every situation is different, so I'm not going to judge those women. I just find it odd that you come back 50 years later to get a civil suit and get a check. That's all.
I agree,
Because
but
at
then
the
they
end of
can
the day,
say the same thing about the gentleman that's passed on from Michigan or Michigan State, as far as all those people that were molested by was it a coach or somebody?
Yeah.
They can say the
but
same thing about
even
that,
with
but
that, so
everybody's
your daughter
situation
comes.
isn't the same.
So your daughter comes. I mean, but even as not, I'm a woman. We, like I said, we're all women here. If
Right.
I did gymnastics, I'm going to know that it is not normal for a doctor to stick his fingers in my private parts under any circumstances. As a parent, we are not all parents do, but we are
Correct.
supposed to teach our children, no, certain things can't go on. This is your body, blah blah blah. But I think in that instance, it was a lot of. It seems like a lot of times where there's a, a affluent people, or the lines are blurred, or money, or if you can have some sort of status, the lines are blurred between what's right and wrong. And that's what
Mm.
I have a problem with that coach situation, because I'm just gonna be real. If it was my daughter and she came to me and said, I went to the coach and he stuck his finger, he wouldn't have had no more finger. And he did that to hundreds of girls and nobody
Right.
told their parents.
Right.
Girl, please, excuse me. I'm not racist, but I am a black mother. It
Mm.
woo,
Mm.
baby.
True
I
that.
would
True
not see
that.
me here today. I would have orange on for real. Orange would definitely be black.
Right?
David said, "Every day I open my eyes, I'm successful.
Mm.
It matters not
You better preach.
what others think of you, but what you think of yourself."
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
And he says it's hard for people to be real with themselves and allow themselves to be vulnerable to it's more. Oh, he wrote a whole paragraph. I'm sorry.
I
You ain't
write
wrote that.
dissertation.
To be vulnerable to the world. He says, "Me, I tell the truth and I let the chips fall where they may. I'm comfortable knowing that I am not for everybody." David, you single? Anyway, so yeah, we love that. That's
I need some
beautiful. That's
powder
beautiful.
like LeBron.
Ooh. Yeah.
Right, right. That's powerful words, and it is
Was.
true. I mean, we need to we need to not be so hard on everybody and just live, be happy,
Be
smile,
happy.
and just love on one another and not be so critical. Everybody may do something that you may not like, but it's more so like, okay, um, amen.
Let's agree to disagree.
Exactly.
It's okay.
Exactly.
I,
I made a
amen.
comment on somebody's post about they were talking about, I'm not going to get into that, but the vaccine. And so I said, we're angry with unvaccinated people and vaccinated people, but at the end of the day, we should be mad at COVID. We should be mad that
Mm-hmm.
COVID exists. We should be mad that it just popped up out of the blue, but we should not be mad at each other. I said, so the only thing we can do is love the people in our lives, because nobody wants their loved one to die. No one wants their loved one to be sick. So the only thing we can do is just be good to each other and respect each other's choices, because we don't know the answer. We can say what
Mm-hmm.
the science says and all this, but we really don't know the answer, because it's something new. I said, so let's just love each other and treat each other well. People commented and was like, you should delete her. You should da 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 da.
Are you
Oh.
The only
serious?
thing I was saying is, let's love each other and value each other while we're here, because you never know what tomorrow's going to bring, and we can't just make that the end all cure all, because at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, we don't know. So just live your life, be good, take your vitamins, and do the best you can to stay healthy, because you're not in control of that.
You're not
And girl,
in
I mean, it was
control.
so many people on my friend's thing, and I said, what did I say wrong? I didn't say take it or not take it. I just said love people, and we're not in control. So
Mm-hmm.
people really do get upset because they're not in control. You don't
You'll
control
never be
nothing
in control.
Ever, ever.
Not with the government anyway.
But it
or
goes back.
anything. God is
Right,
in
right.
control. You just
Exactly.
gotta live and
Right.
and know that you're not in control, and it would
Yeah.
save you a lot of stress
It. That's what I was
and
saying about
anxiety.
that the end the controlling thing, because you're so scared and anxious about what's going to happen and you cannot control it. And once you let that go and say, hey, I can't control it, I don't have a crystal ball, I don't know, it's a scary thing. But that goes back to trusting God, trusting yourself to make the best decision you know how to make. And at the end of the day, you can't control what you don't know, that it's going to happen. You just
Even
can't.
when you do know.
Even when you do know, you still don't know. So
Exactly.
the
Right,
control thing is
because they
big.
they told us years ago that 1 + 1 was 2, and they showed us a formula on how to do mathematics, and now they came up with a whole new formula.
Oh
Why'd you
God,
come
new
up with a new
formula.
Wait a minute.
formula
I'm
when the old
sorry.
formula worked?
I'm sorry.
That's
What's the
crazy to
new
me.
formula? Because I thought still 1 + 1 is 2.
1 + 1 is 2, but then they'll be like, if you got 10 + 11, you got to carry it different, and you do
That's right. That's
four
that
more steps
numerica.
instead of just doing two
You got
steps.
to
It's
cross
it's
this out
it's weird.
the laws of 10. Yeah, I just discovered that last
The
week.
who?
That was interesting.
The
What
laws
you
of
just
10,
said,
she
it is
said.
a thing. It is a real thing. It's called the laws of 10. And it just exactly what you just said is what they do. And it's like, well how come the old way isn't okay? Because when they came home from school and had to be home from COVID, I said it's going to be a lot of kids carrying one. Because
Right. Because that's how we.
whatever new
Right.
stuff you got, honey, I
Because
don't know
that's what
what
mama and daddy know.
I don't know what to do with that, but I know how to carry one. But yeah, it's just it's something. It's that trust. I think it's a couple of things. It's trusting. It's ego.
Yes.
It is. It's the control thing. It's the letting go. It's a lot of things that hold us back when we try to make decisions or think things about ourselves. Perception. All of those are very important words. That we look at, or we should look at, when we're talking about loving ourselves, because those are things that'll stop you if you don't have the right perception, if you don't talk about yourself in a good way, if you're always looking to the end of the tunnel before you get through the tunnel. Like, I can't
I'm
remember.
guilty of that, girl. I be trying to be 12 steps ahead.
I did, and yeah, because you want to control the
That's
ending.
that's that overthinking thing
Yeah,
that
yeah,
us women do.
that's right,
You got,
because
you
we
got,
have
it's
so many
like,
pressures.
you know, A through
Yes.
Z, and then every letter got a 1, 2, 3. A, 1, 2, 3. B, 1, 2, 3. If this happened, that happened, and it's very, I'm a testify real quick.
She gonna
Over the,
testify.
I got in a car accident. My car was in the shop, and my car's been paid for, so I'm like, oh, my car paid for. I ain't getting no new car. Hey, I'ma just coast. I'ma ride that mug till the bills fall off.
Mm-hmm.
So went out of town this weekend. Got my car to the shop on Friday. I had all this work done in my car the month before I got into the accident. So everything, new spark plugs, new everything. So I'm like, hey, I can get another 100,000 miles out this car. So that was my plan. I get on the road. We get halfway home. My car starts jitting. I don't know what it's doing. I'm like, oh my God. So I told the Lord, all right, you can't make me doubt him. I said, Lord, let me just get home. Let me get home, because I know, in Ohio, if I get told, it's gonna be a whole lot of money, and I'm
$25,000.
not doing it. Yes. Right. So I get home, and when I tell you, my car stopped on 8 Mile in Southfield, and then I said, you know what, Lord, thank you, because I asked you to let me get home to Detroit,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I did. So my
Mm-hmm.
car is back in the shop. They're trying to figure out what's wrong with it. But my point is, when we were on that road, it was raining, it was storming. I'm with my mother. She's 80. She's, oh my God. And I had to go inside myself and get quiet, because I don't like
Mm-hmm.
driving in the storm. But
Right.
what I learned, what I kept thinking is, Lord, I don't know why you got us going through this storm,
He got you
but I
through the
trust
Mm-hmm.
storm. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
but I trust you, because you're gonna get me through this storm. So we
Mm-hmm.
went on through. and the rain dissipated, and we had to take a scenic route because they had so much construction, and my mother's fussing because she 80. So I've been riding this road for 50 something years, and you don't go this way. Don't you listen to the she just was going on and on. But it goes back to perception.
Perception.
In
Yeah,
her
that's right.
mind, it was only one way to get there.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, I'm gonna do what modern technology says because it's satellites now. Things are different, and they can guide you around the
Right.
construction. And so
Right.
that's what we did. So my point is, I got through the construction. I got through the storm. I got halfway home, and my car was like, no. But God was like, yes. He did exactly what I asked him. So now I'm like, dang, Lord, I should have been like, can you give me 2 more years?
Don't be greedy.
Right,
Don't be greedy.
while
He
it's
did what he's
but,
supposed to do.
get on that high disc
but
while
he
you
gave me
He
what
can.
I
did what you
asked for.
asked. He did what you asked.
He
Yes.
gave me what I asked, and I got home safe, and I got my mother home safe. So I say that to say I was not in control. We are
Mm-hmm.
not in control of anything. And if we
Mm-hmm.
embrace the fact that we are not in control, but we do know who is in control and
Mm-hmm.
who will take care of us, which is God, then that's where I had my peace. Because when I could not see driving through this storm. I could not pull over. I just had to stay the course, look down at the thing, turn my hazards on, and just roll with it. Because sometimes you're trying to fight against the storm, but sometimes you got to go with the storm. You got to
That's
go
right.
with it.
That's
Just go
right.
with it, and you'll get through it. And God
That's
will be on the
that's
other end, and the sun
that's
will be
right.
shining,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll be
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm. That's the struggle, though. It's like the thing where you're rowing against the current, and you can't go anywhere. It's just getting you stuck. You're turning in circles. But as soon as you let the oars go, and you go with it, and God will put you where you're supposed to be.
Look at God.
Woo!
Hallelujah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
So maybe in my patty.
Right, right, right.
yeah, that letting go of the oars thing, that's hard because you always want to
And that was a good
you're told
analogy.
fight for stuff, fight for it, and just work hard as you can. And then sometimes you gotta let it go and just float. You're supposed to sometimes and let God just handle it.
That's right. That's all we can do.
That's it. That's it.
And stop being so critical of yourself because, everybody's going to make mistakes. Everybody's going to, you know, live life. And, don't be so hard on yourself because in this day and age, we have to live, we have to learn,
Mm-hmm.
we have to make mistakes, we have to continue to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't, then what happens?
Oh, we stand there and feel sorry for ourselves and never come out of
When
it.
you stop
No,
making
you don't.
mistakes, you're
No,
dead.
no. I don't think
When you
so.
stop
I
making
think,
mistakes, you're dead.
yeah,
Right.
Because
you
I
gotta make.
don't care how old you
But
are, you're gonna
but
make a
you don't
mistake.
have to wallow in it.
And
That's
that's
what
the
I'm
thing
saying.
I was
No,
gonna say.
don't self pity. Yeah.
Once you do that, and like I was saying before, you don't learn. Once you get past it, it'll bring you the same thing again and again and again until you
But then
are
it can bring you
aware.
things in different ways.
Yeah.
It's life is a beautiful thing. I just got a puppy too, and that little thing, I be like, boy, because he's big. He's 4 months old, but I have to remember
Oh.
Oh,
he's 4 months old. He don't know nothing.
right.
He knows absolutely nothing. He
Yeah.
still he look big, but he duh. So it's just like us. We God's children, and we 50, some of
Who
us are,
is this David? I'm sorry, y'all. Hi, cousin Sheree.
come on, David.
David said, we need to give God more glory. Nobody talks about God. It's always me, 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 me. I'm not
Yes.
a religious person, but I'm spiritual, and I know that at the end, I know that in the end, God will have the last word.
Are you single, David? I got a friend for you. I saw you.
We have to
No.
allow it because sometimes
David,
we don't.
yes.
You have to allow it
Yeah.
to be. That's the thing about being
So
human.
let God be God.
We're rushing. Because I know I have I've had problems with patience. When is it gonna happen? You shouldn't question God like that though. But it's is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? What time? Can I be there? It's calm down. Put the knife down. And sit
Put the
and
knife down.
put the knife
What?
down.
Right, it's
You know
Halloween,
how
all
you
right?
No, we're not gonna do that. No.
It's Halloween. It's
No.
Halloween. It's Halloween. Halloween. Put the knife down.
But
But
you know, somebody said something earlier about success.
Yeah.
And success is also a perception, but sometimes we get so focused on this one thing and this one goal. And then after
Obsessed.
you achieve it, then what? You got to have a list of goals
Right.
and things that you want to achieve. And then if you don't achieve that one, go on to the
Go to
next
the
one
next
because
one.
everything
Yeah.
that you write down is not for you. Everybody want to quote scripture, write the vision down and make it plain. I don't care if you write it, you spell it, you do a backflip, if you tattoo it on your forehead. If it is not for you, it is not
It's
for
not for
you,
you.
and it
How
is
about
not.
doing a challenge and saying like write down all your fears and then conquer,
You
write down
cross
all
one.
your fears
That's
and
Girl,
then
you
good.
start
better
conquering all
preach
your
Yeah.
on
fears.
Pastor Nicole.
Huh?
I like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, yeah, I,
Yeah.
I'm
That's great.
That's good.
I'm afraid of bugs, so I don't know if I could conquer that one. But it's
Start with
just
something
As
different.
long
Yeah.
as I got a shoe, I'm cool.
my girls got my back. Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Because I tell you, it's once you decide that that's something that you're gonna do. Just like with this whole experience, I've been so grateful and floored by how fast it's moving. It's like it's
Mhm.
moving slowly, but it's moving so fast because I thought that I could. And if I thought I could, I'm like, I can try it. And then when I tried it, I'm like, oh,
No, when that thought comes to mind, it shouldn't be I thought I could. It's like I know I
well,
can't
you know, you
because it's
once you step
already
out,
yes,
yeah, once you
exactly.
step out and you try it
What
and you say,
God
well, hey,
has for
I can do
me,
this, you
it
know.
is
Is for
for
me.
That's right.
me.
That's right. And when you find purpose,
What God
your
has
purpose,
for
that's the
me.
beauty of it. That's like when you can
Yes.
get all your gratefulness, your
It's almost
happiness.
like it always reminds me of the Lion King. Remember who you are.
Who
If we
are you?
remember who we are,
Yes.
but it's so hard
Some
to
people don't know who they are.
They
overcome.
don't, and it's a hard way to go when you're trying to
It's a
find it.
choice. It's a
Yeah,
choice. Every day we wake up, God gives us a new day to choose. The Bible says, choose ye this day whom you're going to serve. So you have a
Exactly.
choice to serve negativity. You have a choice to serve fear. You have a choice to serve doubt, or you could wake up and say, bye bye fear, bye bye doubt.
because
Hey,
things
I'm
are
coming out
always working
today.
out for me.
I
That's what I say.
decided that I'm going to be a queen and I'm going to accomplish every goal that
She
I
said, I'm
have
gonna
set
be a
before me.
queen.
You already are a queen, honey.
Yes.
I like that hair roll. I'm gonna be a
You
queen.
already are. You already are. We
Thank
have
you. You a
spoken
queen
into
too,
it.
sister.
Yes, yes, yes. And I get up and
And
I
I
say
think
it. So
So why don't we act like queens? Be that queen and act like a queen.
we forget.
I'm not knocking any of the us women, but if you're gonna be a queen, be that queen and act like a queen. Wear that crown well. Wear that crown with pride.
Yeah.
Stop
and be
doubting yourself.
benevolent.
Stop criticizing yourself. Stop, body shaming people, body shaming yourself.
Oh,
Be that queen.
that's a good topic.
Yeah, we'll talk about it another time.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
topic.
But
Yeah.
be that queen that you supposed to be. Smile. Hey.
If somebody has a T-shirt line out called Crown Check. It's a local Detroit young lady. She does spoken word, and I have that T-shirt. Next time I'm gonna try to find it. I'm gonna try to wear it next time we. But it's called Crown Check, and
I
that's what she
like
says
that.
she developed it for. Is women to just check your crown, fix
Mm-hmm.
your crown, know who you are,
Mm-hmm.
and that's very inspiring. I wish I could remember her name, but she's dope.
That's cool.
My cousin Sheree, she says we learn from our mistakes, and um, mistake us. We use much wisdom. And then David says, "Thank you, ladies, for the opportunity to join in the conversation. I enjoyed listening and the dialogue. You are all of you are beautiful, and may God bless and continue to bless you." Thank you,
Oh,
Thank
David.
David.
you,
Thank you,
David. God
That's
bless
Sheree.
thank
you.
you.
Thank you, all of you all, for listening and joining in. And those of you that didn't comment but just listening and joining in, we thank you. We thank you to Groove Radio, Switchplay TV, and Podcastic. So we're going to do some last minute words. Cameron, any last words that you would like to say? And
I
also
think
tell
my
them where
last
you can be
word would
found.
be just My last word for today would be just encourage yourself, love yourself, and just like you need to be built up, when you meet people who are downtrodden or maybe even negative, be positive towards them and build them up and love on them because we all need love. And if we lead our lives with love in our speech, in our thoughts, and with our motives, then the world will be a better place.
Terry.
Just think the best thoughts that you can about yourself. Talk to yourself. Tell yourself that you are worthy. Tell yourself you love yourself. It's important when you get up every day just to say things are always working out for me because I am worthy.
Y'all some beautiful women. And women, y'all need to take heed to know that you are powerful beyond measure. You are beautiful. Like we said, wear that crown proudly. Become that woman that you always wanted to be and be that woman that you are. So, Cameron, where can you be found?
Hi, I'm Cameron Elaine. I can be found on Instagram at Cameron Elaine. You can find me on Facebook at Cameron Kimball. You can also find me on YouTube with all things Cam and K. And that's just about it.
And oops, I brought myself on, so I'm going to say it too. I'm trying to maneuver at the same time. So I can be found. I'm Lady Melody on TikTok, Nicole Nelms on Facebook, Instagram, Nikki _ Boss Lady, and I'm here every Monday for Switchplay TV, and then also on Sundays for various other, what do you call it?
Podcast.
Podcasts. Thank you. So let me put Terry on so I could stop messing up.
You can,
Wait, I ain't put you on yet. Okay, go ahead.
You're wonderful.
right. You can find me on Instagram at Terry Time Sue, and also Facebook Terry Marshall.
So, guess what, everybody? This is almost the end of the show, but we would like to say thank you again to Groove Radio Detroit. That's your symbol. Let me just put that one up. Oh, nope, didn't have it in there. But we're going to put Groove Radio Detroit and Podcastic and Switchplay TV. We miss you, Mike. We miss you, Lamar. We'll see you all
soon.
next time.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.